President Mahama, along with former presidents, past and present world leaders, are among dignitaries who joined Ghanaians from all walks of life to pay their final respect to Ghana's longest-serving First Lady, Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings, who is being laid to rest today. Son of Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings, Kimathi Rawlings, read a tribute on behalf of his siblings. But my colleague, Blessed Soga, has just returned from the funeral grounds at the Black Star Square and joins me in the studio with more from there. Blessed, first, how was the mood?
Solemn, if you'd want to describe it in very simple words, with former world leaders and some past and present government officials who are also present just to pay their last respects to the longest serving First Lady of the Republic. That includes the former presidents that we've ever had living, the former President John Agyekum Kufuor and former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, with the President himself and the whole government structure represented there at the Black Star Square.
And many Ghanaians have been given their tributes. Tell us what they've been saying.
That includes the president himself, who sees this loss as an ending chapter in one of the critical moments of our political history. Some members of the 31st December movement, which she formed, which had a significant following and empowering women across the country, also had their leadership sharing some words, including the former appointees as well, Spio Gabra, and the current Minister for Creative Arts and Culture. We can start off by listening to the tribute read on behalf of the President by Joyce Bawah-Mokhtari.
Nana Konadu was far more than a former First Lady. She was a pioneering leader, an unwavering champion of women's empowerment, a trailblazer in our political landscape, and a deeply committed patriot. Her life story is one defined by boldness to speak, to challenge, to lead, and to stand resolutely for what she believed was right for Ghana. As First Lady, she redefined the role and transformed it into a platform for national development. Her work touched thousands of families and laid the groundwork for many of the gender-sensitive policies and social interventions that Ghana benefits from today. She was never afraid to push boundaries or to stand alone when her conscience called her to do so.
And that was a position of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, who paid a tribute on behalf of the people of Ghana. The 31st December women also had this to say.
We, the women of the movement, are grateful to her. 31st December Women's Movement was her heartbeat, her mission, and her lifelong commitment. Under her leadership, the movement grew from a small collection of dedicated women into one of the most influential and formidable empowerment organizations.
And that achievement she made when she was a key member of the PNDC administration that metamorphosed into the National Democratic Congress. Speaking about the NDC, we know that Maame, this former First Lady we're talking about, had a checkered history with the party. In spite of that, the NDC says its history cannot be written without the contribution of Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings, General Secretary of the party, Fifi Fiavikwete.
Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings was a foundational pillar of both the PNDC and the NDC. She did not operate from the background. She was at the very center, organizing women, building structures, shaping strategy, strengthening grassroots, and helping give birth to a party that was not just political, but deeply connected to the people. The history of the NDC cannot be told without her name spoken boldly and with honor. She was not an observer of the struggle. She was an architect of its success. She was not a mere participant. She was a pillar, strong, unyielding, indispensable. Her election in 2009 as first vice chairperson of the NDC was a recognition of her teacher as a founding mother of the party.
A founding mother, she's been described as Maame. And of course, I was also touched earlier today when the Creative Arts and Tourism Minister, Jifa Ablangumashi, shed tears live on television when we were speaking to her, simply because of the kind of impact she says this woman had on her. And we can listen to her and also former Trade Minister, Spio Gabra, who's also been speaking about the very trying times when, according to him, the 31st December woman movement was targeted. Let's listen.
She understood her mission in life to be a fighter, to be a warrior, to be a brave woman, especially on behalf of the underprivileged and women in particular. And that's why she set up the December 31st Women's Movement, which did incredible things in Ghana. Many Ghanaians will be surprised to learn that at one time the December 31st Women's Movement had more than 2 million members. I don't know which other organization, whether it's the Trade Union Congress, whether it's the Chambers of Commerce, or whether it's the Union of Trade Associations, GUTA of Ghana, that has that kind of following. Maybe some of the political parties may have such following when we vote. But this obviously was, DWM was kind of a wing of.
I hope that this family are an example for what married people should do, what parents should do. Look, even when Zanato and her siblings were young, if they came to the office and we were there maybe arranging party paraphernalia or doing by the far side, they will come and courtesy to all of us. Look how these children turned out. It means that they did something right. And to say Demi Fedri to Asantemai Otunfo, Demi Fedri to His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, Demi Fedri to Mrs. Lodina Mahama, and all of us who lent under their feet.
And you had the Tourism Minister, Jifa Gomashiele. We had Spio Gadra, former Trades Minister. Let's take you live to the funeral grounds now for more on this. Kwekwa Sante is there.
We are not going to allow a lot more people to go there, although some cameras will be allowed. Let's make some shots. Yes. Yes. The people must be people. I don't know the person. Why am I speaking to the person? Obviously, I'm here. I know what I'm doing.
Kwekwa Sante there. We also have Bayaga Fatau on the line. Unfortunately, we've lost him, but we'll get updates in subsequent bulletins. Now, the Methodist Church of Ghana has rejected allegations of religious discrimination at Wesley Girls High School, stating that the renowned institution has a 189-year tradition of welcoming students of all faiths and backgrounds. This comes amidst a suit filed by a Muslim applicant accusing the senior high school of discriminatory religious practices. In a press release, the presiding bishop of the church, Most Reverend Professor Johnson Esiamwa Jedu, noted the church will take steps, or the church takes steps, the necessary action to protect the school's interest. Hannah Adame joins me in the studio with more details from that statement. Hannah, what more do we know?
So in the two-page release, the church notes that since its founding in 1836, Wesley Girls has trained students from diverse religious backgrounds, and these people have contributed meaningfully to society. It goes on to emphasize that the school's traditions and rules are designed to maintain unity, structure, and fairness across the students' body, especially as diversity increases, and warns that creating separate systems of living and worship for the different faith groups will, quotes, inevitably lead to segregation and also undermine the cohesion and collective traditions of the school, unquote.
Well, what specifically is it saying about the allegation of discrimination?
Maame, according to the church, the school considers discrimination to be fundamentally inconsistent with Christian teaching and incompatible with their mission. It therefore justifies that their moral and disciplinary culture has always been grounded in inclusion.
Well, what support are they giving the school in this case.
The Methodist Church in the statement says they have had the public discussion on the subject, and though they have not been officially notified, they will obtain the records to enable their legal team to take the necessary action to protect the school's interest. The church also reiterates that Wesley Girls High School continues to operate within its Methodist identity as allowed by the 1992 Constitution. They warn that creating the separate systems of difference for students of different beliefs will fragment the school community. Maame, the Methodist Church also referred to the April 15, 2024 MOU that was developed by the Conference of Managers of Education Units and facilitated by the National Peace Council. Now, this MOU was an input from the major Christian denominations and Muslim groups, and it set guidelines for peaceful coexistence in mission schools, of which Wesley Girls High School is one.
Well, aside obtaining details of the case, what steps are they taking?
Finally, the church is assuring the public of its ongoing commitment to peace and collaboration with all the stakeholders to ensure there is understanding, mutual respect among all faiths and traditions.
Well, thank you so much, Hannah, for that update. And you're still listening to the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 with me, Maame, Nyamekye Thompson. Now, Ghana's first fight against opioid abuse is taking a sharp turn as new fears emerge that patients in severe pain are being denied the very drugs meant to help them. At the Konfanoche Teaching Hospital, anesthesiologists warn that the panic over addiction is now causing dangerous underdosage, leaving patients to suffer after surgery, threatening other health implications, including hypertension. Emmanuel Bright-Kweku joined a one-day training workshop for health professionals at the hospital and filed this report.
Opioids are a class of drugs used primarily for pain relief, but they have rather become a menace to the mental health and well-being of the populace as people continue to abuse and become addicted to the drugs. These growing concerns are informing stricter control and access to the drugs. However, some health professionals are worried over what they say is denial of effective opioids to patients under intense pain, especially after surgical operations. General Secretary of the Ghana Anesthesiologists Society, Dr. Moses Siao, addressed at a one-day workshop on opioid usage organized by the Konfanoche Teaching Hospital.
People don't want to prescribe opioids. When they have even prescribed, is underdosed. And then you also have instances where they are prescribed, correct doses actually prescribed, but not administered. Again, all because of the fear. So patients always go through unbearable pain, which is not justified.
Following a recent survey at the hospital, management have realized easy accessibility, lack of secure designated storage areas in the wards, and the absence of protocols and clear policy on the usage and management of opioids remain a challenge. But what are the legal implications of professionals abusing opioids? Nathaniel Nkrumah is the Ashanti Regional Head of the Food and Drugs Authority.
How they even procure these medicines, and it should only come from registered FDA licensed facilities so that they can easily trace and track when there are issues with its use, and it helps so that they keep them in check before even the regulator comes.
For Joy News, my name is Emmanuel Bright-Kweku.
To the Upper West region, where the outgoing chairman of the Nurse and Midwife Educators Society, Matthew Adamu Buckingham, says producing more diploma nurses alone won't meet Ghana's health needs. He's calling for specialized training programs to equip nurses and midwives to tackle pressing medical challenges. He spoke at the Society's Quadrennial Congress in Wa. Rafiq Salam reports.
National Chairman of the Nurse and Midwife Educators Society, Matthew Adamu Buckingham, averred that the mass production of diploma and certificate nurses and midwives are counterproductive, calling for a paradigm shift, refocusing the training to prioritizing specialization on courses that are relevant.
We must rethink and innovative in health training by prioritizing specialization and quality assurance rather than the mass production of diploma and certificate nurses.
The Delegates Conference serves as a swan song of Matthew Adamu Buckingham, and he used the opportunity to raise earlier concerns by the society, urging the government to address them quickly.
Implementation of the developed conditions of service of all all the internal allowances. We have marking allowance, supervision allowances, labor ward assessments, and project works. Our research and book allowance is long overdue. It has been negotiated and we are waiting for implementation.
Reporting for Day News, Rafik Salam. Wow.
Investigative journalist Erastus Asari Donko has issued a stark warning that Ghana is accelerating toward ecological collapse as the country's forest loss reaches what he describes as catastrophic and historically unprecedented levels. According to him, Ghana once had about 6.5 million hectares of primary forest in 1900, but not anymore. The following report has more.
As a keynote speaker at CDD Ghana's 20th Krontine Akwemu lecture, Erastus Donko warned that without immediate aggressive national action, Ghana risks irreparable damage to water security, collapsing river systems, unpredictable rainfall, and long-term threats to agriculture and food production.
From 2015 to 2024, the country lost a whopping 430,000 hectares of its closed primary forest, bringing Ghana's entire closed forest space to just 1,020,000 hectares. During this period, the country transitioned very fast from the use of simple tools in artisanal mining to the use of heavy earth-moving equipment in small-scale mining.
Australia's High Commissioner to Ghana, Bernice Owen Jones, described illegal mining as a national crisis requiring urgent collective action.
I see illegal mining as very much a national security issue.
Former Environment Minister Professor Frimpong Boateng warned that Ghana is destroying natural resources with far greater value than the gold fueling illegal mining.
There are so many things that we can find in our forest that can give us more money than what you are gaining from gold. But the gold is there. It has to be mined sustainably and with respect for the environment.
The various speakers called for urgent reforms, strict enforcement, and partnership across civil society, government, and communities and international allies to save Ghana's remaining forests.
This is the Midday News. We'll take a break. When we return, we have sports and also excited exhibitors at the Republic Bank Love FM Habitat Fair continue with whopping discounts at the Kumasi City Mall, urging patrons to disabuse their minds that they cannot own a home.
When I wake up in the morning, I brush my teeth with Kale Charcoal toothpaste. This gives me confidence all day.
Anytime you meet Amma, don't be surprised I smile showing my beautiful white teeth because I don't have cavity thanks to Kale Charcoal toothpaste for its natural charcoal properties. In fact, we are like twins. I can't go without my Kale Charcoal toothpaste.
That be why I dey use Kale Charcoal toothpaste morning and night when I dey go bed safe. It dey make my teeth white when it dey comot every scent from my mouth inside. My confidence level they go up, so I dey show my 32 teeth all.
Introducing the Kale Charcoal toothpaste, formulated with activated bamboo charcoal powder, ensures whiter teeth and removes bad breath. The strong natural property of the activated bamboo charcoal removes bacteria, absorbs surface stains on our teeth caused by coffee, wines, and tobacco. Welcome, Kale Charcoal toothpaste. Kale Charcoal toothpaste, Sankofa Yenchi.
Kale, happy smile.
This advert is FDA approved.
Dear Santa, I don't want a lot this holiday. All I want this holiday is on DSTV, so I can watch all my favorite kids shows on Cartoon Network, Nick Jr. and Nick Toons. Also, Daddy can watch all his football games, and Mommy can watch all her telenovelas.
Ho, ho, ho! No bronya kuko this Christmas. Get yourself or gift that special person a DSTV decoder as a Christmas gift today at 89 Ghana cedis. DSTV, your home of entertainment.
In the name of the Lord Jesus, let there be a performance of your word and your word only.
The world gathers at Action Chapel International for Impact 2025 with the Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams, Apostle Joshua Selman, Apostle Isi Igenegba, Reverend Eastwood Anaba, Bishop Bernard Odri Asari, Reverend Dr. Robert Ampia Kofi, and Reverend Dr. David Entry. Theme:
let there be a performance.
It's Sunday to Sunday of word, worship, prayer, divine encounters.
There is an anointing
anointing coming on you. From Sunday, 30th November.
It is time for the heavens to move.
Through Sunday, 7th December.
I see somebody, you will arise.
Mornings at 9 a.m. and evenings at 5 p.m. at the Action Chapel International, Spinters Road. Don't miss this year's special Impact Sunday joint services. 8 a.m. both Impact Sundays. Impact Friday services from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and all night from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. the next day.
Can't miss it. Look forward to seeing you. Be there.
The winning season is back, but this time I am collecting the wins like jollof at a wedding. The luckiest season 3 is here. Your chance to flip your luck or maybe your bank account too.
2 easy ways to join. Dial *712#. Hit 1 to buy for you or 2 to gift a friend. Feeling lucky? Pick 1 for a random number or hit 2 to choose your own. Pay with mobile money. Done. You're in.
Or go to theluckiestafrica.com, click community tickets, choose your number or let the system do so for you. You can buy a ticket for your boo or your favorite barber. Pay with Momo or card if you're abroad.
1 ticket could turn your 1 Ghana cedi into 500 times more. And the whole community could win 10 times over.
Dial *712# or log on.
Let's get lucky together because luck is everywhere.
I love this station.
Welcome back to the Midday News via Sports.
Obviously, the Ghana Premier League continues tomorrow. Accra Hearts of Oak will be chasing a first home win in 5 games, even as they relocate to the University of Ghana Stadium. Despite their recent struggles, their head coach Didi Dramani is keeping an eye on the long-term goal.
I think that is just the first phase of everything that we're doing in terms of putting in place performance. But I think that one key aspect that is more important to emphasize on is that we need to have a clear identity and a clear direction who tells who we are, who tells where we want to go. And in going about our style of play, everybody aligns with this. And even our supporters and then our management and everybody aligns and understands exactly where we are coming from and where we have reached and where we want to go.
Look, that's on Saturday. On Sunday, Bichim United take on Hoho United. Brecum Chelsea at home to Samatex. Defending champions, the Buni Gold Stars will welcome former champions, the Diana Stars. Hearts of Lions are at home to Kerala United. Holy Stars will take on Nations FC. Kumasi Asante Kotoko take on second place, Mediama Sporting Club, and Swedra All Blacks are at home to Young Apostles.
Thank you. Now, Benin of West is quietly undoing Ghana's progress in the fight against air pollution. New research shows that while emissions from transport and household fuels have held steady or even improved, West Benin is now driving dangerous spikes in pollutants across major cities. That's more on the following report.
Over 2 million gasoline cars inch through Accra streets every day, releasing clouds of pollutants from the air. Their impact on the city's air quality has been significant, but for 2 decades, transport emissions have stayed largely the same.
What we have found out is that the proportion that is coming from traffic remains the same. It hasn't changed over the last 20 years.
That's Dr. Raphael Aku, Associate Professor of Environmental Health Sciences at the University of Massachusetts. He and his team have spent 20 years sampling particulate matter across key communities, studying the fingerprints of pollution. Policies like the ban on old vehicle imports and the new emissions levy were expected to further cut pollution from transport. Dan Westerveld, a research professor at Columbia University, analyzed the data.
And we did not see any PM 2.5 change between the post-levy period and the pre-levy period.
Despite gains in cleaner cooking fuels, Dr. Aku warns that a new threat is wiping those gains out: waste burning.
The gains that we make in biomass burning is being made up for in waste burning. So that means we are not making much progress anymore.
This story was a collaboration with New Narratives. Funding was provided by the Clean Air Fund, which had no say in the story's content. For Joy News, Michael Ashale.
Well, it's day 2 of the Republic Bank Love FM Habitat Fair in Kumasi City Mall. Excitement is heating up at the area as exhibitors slash prizes and roll out jaw-dropping discounts. Let's go there now and speak to Emmanuel Bradquick, who is joining us on the phone lines. Emmanuel, how are things there?
I must tell you that the day 2 of the Republic Bank Love FM Habitat Fair is really exciting. In fact, we are having a lot of the exhibitors providing patrons up to 50% discount. You know, today is a Black Friday sales, and so most of the exhibitors there are going by this order of the day and giving exciting discounts for all patrons that will be trooping to the Kumasi City Mall for all their home needs. And so from it started yesterday ended so well, and today is booming so fast. We're having a lot of the patrons come there, and so anybody who needs a home or accessories for their home, the Kumasi City Mall is where they need to be for their one-stop shop for all their home accessories. And so it's still booming. We are there from today to Sunday, the 30th of November 2025, Maame.
Right. Thank you very much, Emmanuel Bradquick. And the fair continues today through to Sunday, beginning from 8 a.m. through to 8 p.m. each day. And it's time for trends. Noella Yali is in the studio with me. Noella, what's trending?
Well, obviously, Nana Kunido Ajuman Rawlings is trending. We have our very own Jacqueline Ansumayabwa, who shares a personal, experience with us. I'll never forget the day I met Nana Kunido Ajuman Rawlings. I was a young journalist still trying to find my footing. She saw the Joy News mic in my hand, looked me straight in the eye and asked, "So what do you want to ask me?" She didn't want to go on camera, and that was Jacqueline and Samaya. But from all of us here, we say may her soul continue to rest in peace. But of course, you know that the Joy Brands have got an insightful, packed weekend for you. And so we're going to start the weekend on Home Affairs with Adam Naite on radio, but on TV, on Joy News specifically, we have Samson Lardia with Newsfile. We're going to be discussing some of the major stories that characterize the week. We also have Prime Insight with Blizzard Soga on Joy Prime Television. So really, you cannot miss any of these shows.
And on Sunday, there's
on
the
our
law
channels.
At 2 p.m.
Absolutely.
on the Joy News channel. Do make a date for an insightful conversation there as well. And that's all we have for the Midday News here on Joy 99.